My name is Julius Okoth, Director, Avepo Enterprises. Avepo Enterprises is an agrovet in Siaya County, where we serve farmers in the supply of farm inputs. We have branches all over this county. We have 5 branches, one in Ugunja sub-county, we have one in Bondo sub-county, and 3 in Alego. So far, we are mandated to improve farming in this region, that is Siaya County. And from the year 2007, when Avepo'S was started, we have done a lot, especially in the sector of agriculture. We are mandated to improve production in this region, and our main aim is to make agriculture viable so that we can also produce for our population and even export. We have Avepo'S Smart Farm, which is a subsidiary of Avepo Enterprises. This is where we do practical work, we do field extension. Farmers from all over the county do come to our farm to learn, when there are new products that we need to bring to this region, we bring those new products and they are tested. So far this year we've done a field day which was done on June 8th, which was very, very successful, and for that reason, that is why I just want to explain a few things on what our targets, what we want to achieve with the field day, and what we've achieved so far. On June 8th, we advertised a field day and a agricultural exhibition. We invited various companies all over the country, and I'm happy to say that we had over 38 companies that responded to our call. They came with their technicians, with their products, and farmers also responded very well, and they came from all over the county and beyond. Actually, we had over 2,000 farmers that attended the field day. Some came as far as Uganda, Tanzania, Migori, Homa Bay, and other neighboring counties that came to learn from what we were showcasing. This year's theme was production of maize. We wanted to prove to our farmers in this county that maize is viable in Siaya, and most of those who involved in farming who are doing maize should do it commercially. One of the things that we wanted to prove out is that it is possible to have 40 bags per acre of maize in Siaya. We also targeted the various maize varieties that are available in Siaya market. We realized that we had about 35 different varieties that were viable in Siaya market. One thing that we wanted our farmers to go home with is the difference in performance of every maize variety, because we did all of them with the same production technology. We provided the same fertilizer, same environment, same agricultural practices, and actually those that did well were the best for this region. It came out that all the 35 varieties that we planted in our farm were all viable and all were very productive. So one of the aims that the objectives of the field day this year was, one, to prove to farmers that all the maize varieties are working and are viable. We also wanted to prove the fact that it is possible to have 40 bags per acre. We also wanted to bring down technology of zero tillage. This is a technology that has not been very embraced, and most of the farmers are spending a lot of money, especially in doing maize. So we wanted to prove a fact that it is possible to plant maize without using jembe, and this can reduce up to 30% of production cost on maize. So on the D-Day, we welcomed farmers from all over. The occasion was graced by the Minister of Agriculture, and as many as we invited came. Now, what we did was to avail also the technicians from various companies to meet farmers one-on-one, and they were able to have very good interactions with the farmers. From the first plot to the last, I just want to have a mention of the varieties that we had and their performance, and for sure you are able to see how each and every one performed. From the first plot, we have the 2 varieties that came from dryland seeds, that is Sawa and KDH3. Sawa was the first one, and it did very well. In fact, fact, it's a short variety, and from the look of things, it had very short crops, but doing very, very well. Going to KDH, KDH is early maturing. Actually, we planted it later than the other varieties, but it proved to mature at the same time with the others that were planted late. From KDH, we went to Monsanto, which we planted 3 varieties of DK, that is DK 777, DK 8031, DK 8033, and 9089. All of them performed equally well, and in fact, the one that had been neglected by farmers as not performing did the best, and that was DK 777, followed by DK 8033, then 31, then 8099. On the side of Corteva, Panaseed is part of Corteva, and we had quite varieties of Pana. So we had 3 varieties of Panaseed. One, we had Pan 15, we had Pan 14, which is a yellow maize seed, and we had Pan 3M06. Pan 14, as being a new variety, that's a yellow hybrid, is not very popular for many. Have not embraced it because one, it's highly priced, and secondly, very few believe there's a yellow maize seed variety that's hybrid. It performed very, very well, though it had challenges with the birds, and whoever is doing Pan 14 should make sure that he does it a little late, because when it matures early, it has problems with birds. But though the grains were so big and good color and yellow, we had Pan 15, which performed among the top 5. It did very, very well, and this is a seed that surprised everyone because nobody thought Panaseed is that good in this soil. So it proved beyond any reasonable doubt that Pan 15 is the best seed among the best seeds in this region. Then we have the Pan 3M006, which is a very new variety for long rains, for short rains. Actually, when it got introduced during the short rains, most farmers that tried, because the company brought samples, farmers tried it, and those who tried it gave very, very good positive results. And when we planted it, among others, this seed proved very good performing. It double cobbed, and actually it went very fast, proving that it's one of the best seeds for short rains. Now coming to Savo seed. Savo seed seeds from Bicheha Farm. Bicheha Farm is a seed company that produces Savo, both Savo 4141 and Savo 3106. These 2 varieties have proved to be among the seeds to watch in this region. Actually, it's just like 2-3 years since they were introduced, and among the best varieties that performed in the farm, Savo as a company was almost leading the team. 3106 was, according to the morphology, it had very big cobs, very long cobs that were so big, but 4141 managed double cobbing, which is a very good trait that is attractive to all the farmers in this region. So actually, Savo's team is a seed to watch in the next coming seasons, both in short and long rains. It performed quite very, very well. So we also had, like I've said, we had the seed from Kenya seed, which also did very well. The East Africa seed, which gave us KH500. KH500 was the only seed that we got from East Africa seed. It also proved beyond any reasonable doubt that this seed is very good performing in this region, and when it is planted in good time and gets enough rain, it can actually perform very well. The only exemption is that when it is planted a little late, you can have a challenge of of not maturing very well, because it needs enough rains, about 2.5 months of rain for it to perform very well. These were for farmers to choose for themselves, because some of these varieties have not been available just because there are no demand for them, and the demand also is created by what people see. So going to Kenya seed, we had 3 varieties. We had the 513, we had the DH04, and we had 614. Actually, we are really trying the 614 on this region because of of its high yield, though we knew very well that it's a variety that needs a lot of rains, and we did it, and actually it performed very well, except that what would advise farmers in Siaya, if one is to go for 614, he needs to make sure that he plants very early, for the crop takes a longer time. Actually, we planted it at the same time with others, but it took a longer time to mature. Though grain-wise, it has very big cobs and very long, though thin cobs, but actually the performance was very, very good. Going to 513, 513 proved ideal for this region, and though it has been very neglected, it has been neglected because of mostly publicity and also ability of the company to promote it, but 513 proved very good performing, and actually it could have ranked among the top 10 in performance. DH03 is also a very popular variety in Siaya, and mostly because of its price, most farmers have been going for it, though actually it proved that it's well good performer, because being that we planted it a little late because the seeds were not available, but it came and catched up with the rest of the crops, and actually they were harvested at the same time with very, very good performance, except that now because it was planted late, it got challenges of crops, pests that attacked it, and that's why it got some challenges and some stress during growth, but actually it also performed very well. We also had Western Seed Company. Western Seed Company, we only managed to get two varieties, that is 507 and 507. No, we had three varieties, 507, 505, and Araka 101. 507 proved the best in the region because of its ability to double cob, and also the size of the grain was very, very, very good. Actually, it just it performed better, slightly better than 505, which also tried. I can say that Western Seeds are still doing very well in our soils, and one has no doubt picking one because actually the performance was quite appealing. Going to 101, which is a short train variety, we also planted it at the same time. 101 happened to mature very early, I believe because it's a short train variety and it's a faster maturing variety. It managed also to perform well in terms of yield, though compared to others, I can say that it's a bit low in yield. This is purposely because it is a short train variety. Now other varieties we had from Koteva for the Pana seed varieties. Pana, we had Pan 14, we had Pan 15, and we had we had three Pan varieties, that is Pan 14, we had Pan 15, and there was another one that came recently for the short trains, which also did very, very well. Actually, we also had the yellow bean, that is Pan 14, which people have, most farmers that didn't know there's a yellow hybrid variety. They were surprised to find that yellow seed varieties are also in hybrids, and they are performing perfectly well. And actually, Pana of all the varieties has been neglected, and most of the Dagomex in Siaya you can't find these varieties. But actually, from performance, they proved very well performing, and I believe farmers that came to the field day went out with the message that these seeds are the right ones for this region. We had a variety of seeds also from Kenya, from Seedco Company. Seedco Company had the largest, the biggest variety, because we had like over 7 varieties from Seedco. Some were on trial, some are on the regular market, and we tried all of them plus the ones that are not traded in the market, but all of them proved very good performing. We had Punda, we had Sungura, we had Duma, we had Tembo and Simba. Apart from the ones that are new in the market that are not yet named, the ones that are regular in the market performed very well, with the Tembo, with the Simba leading, followed by Punda. Sungura partly did very well, but because it's a short variety, it didn't manage to reach the others in terms of yield. But actually, if one is going for a faster maturing variety, then Sungura would be the best choice, and mostly Araka 101. Mostly these are the varieties planted during the short train. grains. But for the long grains, they might not perform very well because they mature a little early, and this will bring challenges now with the weather, rotting and all the rest. But actually, out of the seed corn varieties, the ones we planted, Simba did best, they followed by Punda, then Duma followed, then Tembo did quite well, but I can't recommend Tembo for this region. We're only doing it for a test because we realize that these highland varieties also perform very well in this region. Those farmers that are there, those who are risk takers, can go for Tembo and be assured of a very long corn variety, and it's very heavy, of course, in the weight of the grain, though it takes a little bit longer time. Now from Seedco, we also did varieties from other companies. We had the East Africa seed that gave us a variety that we also tested. This variety did quite very well, and compared to others, it did very well. Actually, from there we also had some local seed varieties that we planted alongside just to compare the performance, which also we proved to farmers, those who've been insisting on local seed, that actually local seeds are outdated. And we also had the seed from Advanta Seed, that is ADV. ADV actually is a robust variety. It had very big cobs, and actually from the look, when it is in the farm, you find it with very wide leaves, and that's very big foliage. And this seed also proved beyond the reasonable doubt that it can perform very well. And actually, among others, this was among the seeds that were eye-catching to all the guests that visited us. On the local varieties, we did it alongside as a control, so that those who are coming to see the performance of the hybrid could also see the performance of the local varieties. And actually, that was one of the aim and objectives of this event, that farmers who still insist and believe in local varieties could see for themselves their performance and how they compare to the current ones that are brought by technology. Actually, we had like 3 local varieties. We had the so-called Nyamula, that is yellow local. Then we had the Babari, and then we had another one called Panadol. All these 3 varieties are the most popular in this region, and actually they perform, from the look of things they perform, except that comparatively, if you compare the yield per acre of a local variety, it's far, you can't compare with what you get from hybrid variety. One thing with the local varieties, they mature very fast, they are hardy, yes, and the only problem with that early maturity is the issue of birds, and also they were prone to a lot of attack by birds. So we found out that even though these seeds are doing actually well, but when you are to put some input, especially fertilizer and all the cost of production brought together, you can't get good returns from local varieties, because though they do very well when you select a particular crop, but comparatively, if you go 2, 3, 4 in a line, you might find only 2 are performing, 2 others are below average, 1 is just dead. So you can't get consistency per line in a local variety. But when you compare to the hybrid variety, there's that consistency that was proving that you can get the 40 bags per acre. The whole event generally was attended by, say, 39 companies. Actually, as Avepo, we were represented, we had a stand. Then there was the Yara East Africa Limited. We also had the Bayer East Africa that attended. We had Osho Chemicals, we had Green Life. We had categories of exhibitors that ranged from institutions, companies, banks. We had NGOs, we had farmers groups, we had the medias, that people that came to exhibit. We had companies that came, for example, Avepo was the host. Then we had Yara East Africa, Ubea East Africa. We had Seedco Kenya Limited. We had Osho. We had Green Life, Morgan Manangu, Cosmos, among many other companies that attended. And going to the side of NGOs, we had the KCDNS attended, we had the Chunga Health, we had various NGOs that are agriculture related in this region that attended. We even had banks that represented their stands, like KCB Bank, Equity Bank came, and many other stakeholders, especially the programs that are run by the county government. Actually, we partnered together with the Ministry of Agriculture, and they had a stand where they also showcase some of the activities that are happening in this region. The occasion was graced by the Minister of Agriculture, and according to the speech of the Minister of Agriculture, it came out that it is very important to what we are doing, and this should be replicated in other sub-counties in this region so that farmers can get the opportunity to learn from various regions in this county. You can see behind me we have a state-of-the-art irrigation system, and this is where we bring down technology to farmers. We want farmers to learn how easy is it to do some of this horticulture work, and this place farmers have been coming to learn new technologies, to new varieties of horticulture seeds that are around. We even test drugs, we even test seeds, and before we sell to our shops, to farmers at our shops, we always make sure that the seeds that we are giving to them has worked. Actually, this is the place where the first Ansal was tested in Sierra County. This is the place where we first tested in Falme F1, the famous vegetable variety, and all others that we sell at our shops, we always try them here. Here at Avepo'S Smart Farm Burger, there are a lot of things that we showcase. Most farmers that come to our farm will give variety of issues to look at. One, we are trying to promote liming in this region, for our soils are very acidic, and you can see there are a lot of shrubs that are growing that proves that there's a lot of acidity. So lime helps us reduce the acidity of the soil. We have local vegetables, we have managu, we have kunde, and all these are here to prove to farmers that these are things that are viable, though there are different diseases that attack them, pests, and we manage this through use of agrochemicals. We have skuma wiki, various varieties. One of the objectives is to prove to our farmers how each and every variety performs. We have Hadi, we have Tajiri, we have Mfalme, we have Tausi, we have others from various companies that just came the other day, and they are doing actually very, very well. Mostly we do hybrids here, we don't do local varieties, not because they don't perform, but hybrids we are trying to promote because we found out that they're the ones that can give our farmers very good returns. The technology that we are promoting in this smart farm is drip irrigation. I know it is expensive, but one thing I can encourage our farmers, just as you can see these plots, they were not done on one day. We just did one plot each at a time, and this gave us time even to do the whole plot. So let nobody fear that drip irrigation is expensive. You can do bit by bit like we did, and eventually you have the whole farm under drip irrigation. One advantage of drip irrigation, as you can see here, we've drilled the water, and this water is the one that we use to water the plots in this place. And with the drip irrigation, you can regulate to water one plot and leave the other, so that when there's scarcity, when there's a lot of when it is dry, you can manage to give crops according to their needs of water. Again, as you can realize, we also do tomatoes upon this farm, though the soils are highly infested by bacterial wilt, but there are varieties that can survive in this region, and that's one of the purposes of this farm, to test the varieties that can work in this region, so that our farmers don't go the risk of testing each and every variety that comes. We do that for them, and when we present the seeds for sale, the farmers are sure that these are seeds that performs very well in this region. So here is our seedling raising nursery. We just started this the other day. We are piloting this project because we've realized that a lot of farmers are now avoiding doing nurseries, and we are going to do it on their behalf. As you can see around, we have sukuma wiki seeds, we have tomato seeds, we have pilipili hoho, and managu, and all the rest we are having here. Most of these places, the seeds have been bought, and we are raising new ones. As you can see, these are greenhouses meant purposely for this, and we are planning to expand this so that we can serve the great demand that is coming up of seedlings. Actually, it takes a very short time to produce seedlings through this system. We have these trays, and we have a media. We do it we have this irrigation, the nipples that help us irrigate, and we have also water down here. This water is used to make the humidity favorable for the growth of crops. Otherwise, this is just a pilot, and we believe in the near future we are going to widen this so that we can serve the increasing demand of seedlings in this region. So this is our dairy unit. These are also a recent development. We realized that in this farm we wanted to broaden so that everybody, all farmers that come can get information and knowledge concerning dairy farming as well. And as you can see here, we've started with 3 animals. We have a calf over here. And this is, apart from just farmers learning from this place, we've been hosting students from various universities doing agriculture. And we realized that they need to have knowledge on agriculture awesomely. So as even they check on crops, they can look at the poultry, and we also have dairy units here. All these animals are in calf, and some of them are being milked. And as you can see, the unit, the other end, we have the chaff cutting unit. We have a chaff cutter. We also do silage here, and here is the calf pen. This is a milking area. As small as it is, we are expanding, and in the near future we plan to expand to the other end so that we can have at least 3-4 different varieties of different breeds of cows in this place. Thank you. Thank you very much for watching. I can promise such like videos to come and many other events in our smart farm. I am Julius Okop, Director of Avepo'S Enterprises Limited. Thank you.